Please welcome to the show, Caitlyn Clark. Caitlyn.
Reality is coming. Those three words, casually dropped by WNBA icon Diana Taurasi, instantly became the defining phrase of the Caitlyn Clark conversation. It wasn't just a comment, it was a cultural moment, a gauntlet thrown down before Clark even dribbled a ball in the pros. Was it a seasoned veteran's pragmatic advice, a subtle jab of rivalry, or a genuine prediction of the challenges ahead? The ambiguity was part of its power, sparking debate and setting the stage for a narrative that would captivate the sports world. But the story of Caitlyn Clark's arrival in the WNBA isn't just about initial skepticism, it's about the astonishing reversal that followed, a complete flip of the script that few could have predicted. Get ready to dive into the unexpected journey from pre-WNBA hype to full-blown hysteria.
I mean, Camilla's coming, Caitlyn's coming, there's more than just that are coming. What will the league have in store for them when they get there?
Look, SVP, reality is coming.
Okay.
Before Caitlyn Clark's sneakers even squeaked on a WNBA court, an atmosphere of, well, let's call it reserved anticipation hung in the air. It wasn't outright hostility, but it was definitely a far cry from a red carpet welcome. Imagine stepping into a room where everyone else has been grinding for years, fighting for every inch of recognition, and suddenly a newcomer arrives bathed in a spotlight brighter than anyone else has ever seen. This was the dynamic Caitlyn Clark walked into. WNBA veterans, many of whom had built their careers in relative obscurity, watched as Clark's college highlights dominated sports news cycles and her name became synonymous with women's basketball. Beneath the surface of polite greetings, a current of skepticism flowed. Was this hype justified? Had she truly earned this level of attention before proving herself at the professional level? There was a clear undercurrent of "show us what you've got" from the established players, a silent challenge echoing through locker rooms and across the league.
I think there was at least a hint of UConn speaking in Diana's assessment, just a hint.
She's competitive.
She's extremely competitive, and I think she feels some rivalry with all the attention that Caitlyn has gotten that she didn't get coming out of UConn.
Let's just lay it out. Caitlyn Clark's college career wasn't just statistically impressive, it was record-shattering, era-defining. She didn't just nudge the NCAA scoring record, she pulverized it, rewriting the history books with a swagger and flair that was impossible to ignore. Think about it. Back-to-back national championship game appearances, clutch performances where she seemed to thrive under pressure, dropping 40-point bombs when everything was on the line. Her highlight reel became a constant presence on sports broadcasts, her name a household word. Crucially, she didn't just play games, she created events. Caitlyn Clark games were drawing in audiences that rivaled and sometimes exceeded NBA playoff viewership, proving her undeniable draw. But the critical question remained, echoing louder than any cheering crowd. Would this spectacular college resume translate to the unforgiving, intensely competitive world of the WNBA? Could those dazzling college stats truly predict success against seasoned professionals, women at the peak of their athletic prowess? Skeptics pointed to countless college stars who had faltered in the pros, fueling doubts and amplifying the pressure on Clark's young shoulders.
Are they going to get the ball up in time? Clark for the win!
When Caitlyn Clark transitioned to the WNBA, she didn't just step into a brighter spotlight, she was thrust under a level of media and fan scrutiny arguably unprecedented for any rookie in the league's history. This wasn't just about basketball anymore, it was a cultural phenomenon unfolding in real time. Every practice clip, every pre-game outfit, every post-game interview became fodder for social media and sports news. The hype machine was operating at maximum velocity, fueled by record-breaking college ratings and a desperate hope that Clark could be the catalyst for a new era of WNBA popularity. But with this dazzling spotlight came an equally intense level of pressure. She was expected not just to perform at a high level, but to single-handedly elevate the entire league, to be both a superstar player and a savior figure. This immense weight of expectation, coupled with the inherent challenges of adjusting to professional basketball, created a crucible of pressure unlike anything a rookie had faced before. Could she possibly navigate this unprecedented storm of scrutiny and still thrive on the court?
A deep one. You bet! Caitlyn Clark!
Diana Taurasi's now iconic phrase, "reality is coming," quickly transcended its initial context, morphing into a complex symbol within the unfolding Caitlyn Clark saga. It wasn't just a throwaway line, it became a narrative battleground, a phrase loaded with multiple interpretations and wielded by different factions in the burgeoning Clark debate. For some, it was framed as a sage warning, a veteran's grounded perspective offered to temper expectations and prepare a rookie for the harsher realities of professional sports. It was the voice of experience cautioning against hubris, a reminder that college accolades didn't guarantee WNBA dominance. "Don't get ahead of yourself, kid," was the unspoken message. However, for others, especially Clark's fervent fanbase, the phrase landed as condescending, even dismissive. It felt like a slight against her undeniable college achievements, a premature judgment before she'd even had a chance to prove herself. "Reality is coming" became a rallying cry for both sides, a prediction of failure for the haters, and a defiant challenge for Clark's supporters, each group using it to bolster their preconceived narratives about her WNBA trajectory.
Carter and Clark.
The initial weeks of Caitlyn Clark's WNBA journey were undeniably a period of adjustment. Anyone who expected instant, seamless dominance was quickly confronted with the stark reality of professional basketball. Clark herself has openly acknowledged the learning curve, the increased physicality, the relentless pace, and the defensive sophistication of the WNBA. Early games saw turnovers, forced shots, moments of frustration as she navigated the tighter defenses and faster tempo. The weight of expectation, the pressure of the spotlight seemed to be a visible burden. But then, subtly at first, something began to change. It wasn't a sudden explosion, but a gradual, almost imperceptible shift. After the mid-season Olympic break, however, that subtle shift became a seismic transformation. It was as if a switch flipped, and the player who returned to the court was not just improved, but fundamentally different. The adjustment period was over. The ascension had begun, and what followed would rewrite the script entirely, defying all early predictions and silencing many of the doubters.
Thank you.
And congrats.
Now, unfortunately, reality is coming to me now.
Once Caitlyn Clark found her rhythm in the WNBA, the statistical output wasn't just impressive, it was a symphony of rookie dominance, a resounding retort to any lingering skepticism. Let's dissect the numbers. Averaging over 19 points per game as a rookie in the WNBA is a feat in itself, placing her among the elite scorers from day one. But it was her playmaking that truly set her apart. Leading the entire league in assists as a rookie, 8.4 dimes per game, is an almost unheard of accomplishment, showcasing a court vision and passing prowess that defied her experience level. She didn't just break the WNBA single-season assist record, she shattered it, setting a new benchmark for rookie playmaking. And the scoring records kept tumbling. Rookie scoring record obliterated, most three-pointers made by a rookie in league history, 122 launched and landed with signature confidence. These weren't just good rookie numbers, they were record-breaking, perception-altering statistics that fundamentally reshaped the narrative around Caitlyn Clark's WNBA potential. The stat sheet became her most powerful advocate, silencing the critics and amplifying the growing chorus of believers. Then came the moment that reverberated across the basketball landscape. Caitlyn Clark appeared on Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird's show during March Madness. The air crackled with anticipation, everyone acutely aware of the backstory, the reality is coming soundbite hanging unspoken in the digital air. And then, in a moment of unexpected candor and genuine sportsmanship, Diana Taurasi delivered a line that would become just as iconic as her original comment, looking directly at Clark with a smile that blended playful rivalry and sincere respect. She declared, "Congrats. Now, unfortunately, reality is coming to me now." The impact was immediate and profound. In that single, self-deprecating sentence, Taurasi achieved something remarkable. She publicly acknowledged she had been wrong to doubt. She conceded Clark's impact, and she did it on a national platform in front of millions. It was a moment of humility, a display of respect, and a powerful turning point in the entire Caitlyn Clark narrative. It wasn't just Taurasi eating crow, it was a symbolic passing of the torch, a veteran legend publicly recognizing the arrival of a new era. Taurasi's public acknowledgement wasn't just a personal evolution, it acted as a catalyst, signaling a broader shift in perception throughout the WNBA ecosystem. It was as if her words unlocked a dam, allowing a wave of acceptance and even outright enthusiasm to surge forth. Suddenly, the evidence of Caitlyn Clark's impact became undeniable, impossible to ignore. WNBA teams, recognizing the unprecedented demand, began relocating fever games to larger NBA arenas to accommodate the swelling crowds. Television networks, witnessing the ratings surge around Clark's games, scrambled to secure broadcasting rights, resulting in a staggering 41 out of 44 fever games being nationally televised, a level of exposure previously unimaginable for the league. The WNBA wasn't just passively observing the Caitlyn Clark effect, it was actively embracing it, strategically leveraging her star power to propel the league to new heights of visibility and popularity. The shift from initial skepticism to full-blown embrace was driven by cold, hard data, viewership numbers, ticket sales, and a palpable buzz that permeated every corner of the women's basketball world. The shift in narrative wasn't confined to Diana Taurasi's change of heart. A chorus of endorsements began to emerge from the very icons who had defined the WNBA for decades. Legends like Lisa Leslie and Cheryl Miller, trailblazers who had paved the way for the current generation, stepped forward to publicly champion Caitlyn Clark. Their praise wasn't hesitant or lukewarm, it was full-throated and enthusiastic. They weren't just acknowledging the hype, they were actively endorsing it, validating her impact, and welcoming her into the pantheon of WNBA greats. These weren't just casual compliments, they were powerful statements of support from figures whose opinions carried immense weight within the basketball community. They were essentially declaring to any remaining doubters that the debate was over. Caitlyn Clark wasn't just a flash in the pan, she was the real deal, a rising tide lifting all boats, and the legends of the game were unequivocally on board, laying down the red carpet for the new era she represented. While the statistics painted a compelling picture of Caitlyn Clark's rookie success, they only scratched the surface of her true impact. Look beyond the points, rebounds, and assists, and you begin to see the less quantifiable but equally crucial aspects of her game: leadership, resilience, and that elusive, often mentioned basketball IQ. She didn't just score, she orchestrated, directing the fever offense with a veteran's poise despite her rookie status. She took a team that had languished at the bottom of the league and in a single season propelled them to playoff contention, a testament to her on-court leadership and ability to elevate those around her. Off the court, she navigated a relentless media barrage, constant public scrutiny, and swirling rumors with a remarkable composure, rarely allowing external pressures to derail her focus. And then there's the IQ, the almost preternatural ability to read defenses, anticipate plays, and make split-second decisions that consistently put her team in the best position to succeed. Commentators and analysts, even former critics, now marvel at her court vision, her passing angles, her innate understanding of the game's nuances. She plays with a basketball intelligence that transcends experience, a rare and invaluable asset that suggests a trajectory towards true WNBA greatness. Remember the viral image of Caitlyn Clark flexing her biceps on the sideline? It was more than just an amusing internet moment. It served as a potent visual metaphor for a deeper transformation taking place. Her visibly increased muscle mass wasn't just about aesthetics, it was a tangible representation of a broader physical and mental evolution. She had demonstrably committed to strengthening her body, adding lean muscle that translated directly to her on-court durability and effectiveness. This physical growth, however, mirrored an even more significant inner transformation, a hardening of mental fortitude, a deepening of resilience. She absorbed the physicality of the WNBA, learned to play through contact, and emerged stronger both literally and figuratively from the challenges of her rookie season. That flex wasn't just about showing off guns, it was a declaration of intent, a visual statement that she was not only here to stay but was actively building herself, physically and mentally, to dominate. It symbolized her readiness to not just meet the demands of the WNBA, but to conquer them, to thrive under pressure, and to continue pushing her game to even greater heights. From the initial echoes of reality is coming skepticism to the resounding chorus of veteran admiration, the Caitlyn Clark narrative has executed a complete and stunning 180-degree turn. She hasn't just lived up to the hype. In many ways, she has transcended it, becoming a cultural phenomenon that is reshaping the landscape of women's basketball. The Caitlyn Clark effect is no longer a hypothetical concept. It's a quantifiable reality, unprecedented television viewership, sold-out arenas across the league, and a palpable surge of mainstream interest in the WNBA that hasn't been witnessed in decades. And with a retooled Indiana Fever roster, bolstered by seasoned veterans and guided by Clark's evolving leadership, this season feels less like a continuation and more like the definitive launch of a new era. So the question isn't if things have changed, but how much? Has the tide officially turned, ushering in a sustained period of growth and unprecedented popularity for the WNBA? Are we truly witnessing the dawn of the Caitlyn Clark era, an era where women's basketball finally takes its rightful place in the mainstream sports conversation? Share your thoughts, predictions, and hopes for the future of the WNBA in the comments below. And if you're as excited about this new chapter as we are, hit that like button, share this video with fellow Hoops fans, and join us as we watch this exciting story unfold. We'll catch you in the next one. This expanded script should be significantly longer and more detailed, hopefully meeting your requirements for length and depth without falling into repetitive phrasing. It aims to be engaging and maintain a strong narrative flow throughout.